Hello, it's the beginner crafter. Welcome to the BudgetTube, and it's time for closing out April. I apologize for sounding so weird, but I caught a cold, so my nose is a bit stuffy and my throat isn't the best as well, but we'll make do, I hope. So April was really crazy when it comes to money. And my total monthly income was 20,300.04. Over 10,000 of this was money that my dad gifted me a few years ago. We put it into a bank and I forgot about it. And now that I'm thinking really seriously about buying the flat, I remembered about the money and I decided to take it with me, to take it into the account that I use every day, so that it's not lost. I was afraid that the bank would sort of start eating the money because there's no traffic there. But luckily no, I did earn a little bit of money, so that was it. And also 1,000 was gifted to me by my aunt, who has heard about me buying the flat and decided to help out a little bit. So that was the extra money that I got and managed to put into the account. So let's see how the different categories went. So here are my monthly budgeted amounts. I did take that money into consideration when budgeting, because I knew that I was going to take it in that month. That's why it's there. The bills are higher than I had thought at the beginning of the month, because well, I did spend less than I had budgeted because my phone bill was lower than expected. But in general, at the beginning of the month, before I budgeted my private earning money in the middle and at the end of the month, I didn't think about tax I would have to pay, because I don't pay tax anymore. In my country, if you have a contract with a company, they pay some tax for you every month, so the salary you get is already after taxes, and usually I get tax return because I have a deduction because of my retirement savings. But because I added the private lessons into my earnings and I didn't pay any tax on it beforehand, I had to pay tax now, and that was a little surprising because I wasn't used to that. So the bill amount was actually higher than I had thought at the beginning of the month. And bills are just 6.4% of my earnings, and if I hadn't paid tax it would be even less, because almost half of this amount is the tax. Fuel was actually 233.82, so a bit less than predicted, and that's 1.2% of my income. Eating out, I budgeted 500, but I actually spent a 503.63, and that's 2.5 of my income. Groceries, I also budgeted 500, but I spent 338.35. So that's 1.7% of income. Savings, that's a huge category. So the savings got 15,988.17. So almost 16,000 out of 20 went into savings accounts. So that's 78.8%. That is huge, like really huge. Beauty, I just used 97 out of the 300 that I had predicted. So that's 0.05. Fun, a bit lower than expected, 188.76. So that's 0.1%. Retirement, 70 as predicted. And I forgot to count percentages, but that should be something about 0.3, I guess, percent. No, 0.03. That's better. Sinking funds. I did pay a little more than expected, so 1,570, and that's 7.7%. Medical got 0, so 0%. And charity, I predicted 40, I spent 45, so that's 0.02% of my income. So that was really a crazy month, but I'm very glad that I did that with the money, because I'm pretty sure I will be buying the flat. I found a nice flat. I just need a few more days to make the final decision. Then of course I'll need to go to the bank to approve the loan that I will have to take. I don't have enough money saved for the whole flat, but I don't really expect too many problems with getting the loan, because I wouldn't be taking as much as I had thought I would before. Where's this? Oh yes. So where did my money go? But this time we're talking savings, because I don't have any debt yet. So the total monthly income, 20,300.04. Total monthly savings, the ones that I include here, so without the cushion, but including my sinking funds that were this month, so Queen and house expenses, totaled 16,547. So that's 80.4% income saved. That's huge, but it's mostly thanks to this 11,000 that I either got from my aunt as a gift or just actually had been there. It just forgot about it, and now I remembered, so now I have it. So the flat, because that's my most important savings goal, that got the biggest amount, 13,737, and that was 83% of savings. So clearly this is my most important goal. Then car, 770, so that's 4.7. Emergency fund, 470, and that's 2.8. Queen, 170, and that's 1%. And house expenses, 1,400, that is 8.4%. So this is the most important goal, and you can see it really well. This is the second most important goal, because I will need some money, preferably in cash, to get to lawyers, all the things that you need, money up front, so it's better to have it already. So this is a really great month. Okay, and let's move on to yearly savings tracker. So for the flat, what got added was 1,418 and 85. The difference between here and here is surprisingly big, but it's mostly because of the interest that the bank pays me in those savings accounts. So every month I get extra money from the bank. That's why there's always some difference, although 300, almost 300 zloty of a difference is really surprising. I don't know whether I forgot to add the money that get to the account because of using my card, and that would be a bit more normal actually. But anyhow, so that brings me to 97,489.4 total. Then car, I paid in 774.15, so that totals to 31,414.5, and emergency fund got funded with 471.08, and that brings the total to 8,295.45. And I had already completed Queen. I wrote in with pencil because I wanted to see whether I would have the money saved before sort of the 1 year before the concert. So I found the date. It's on the 24th of June 2022. So I wanted to see if I would save the money by then, and the 1,000 that I had thought about would already be here. But actually, I asked my friend how much the ticket actually cost. Of course, she gave me the price in euros. So when I checked the exchange rate, it was like 685. So I decided I will save the money in May, just in case the exchange rate just changes a bit, well, a bigger bit, but I won't actually need to save the money in June anymore. I will be able to use that money into something else. And I put in 1,400 into the house expenses, so I have 2,400. So the numbers are great, but because I did get to over 90,000 because of that 10,000 that I had, I decided I need to change my yearly savings goal. Because I had it as 90,000 until the end of year, so it doesn't really make sense to keep it that way, although it's great that I have this money already. I decided to change the amount to 108,000. You might ask, why not just add this amount of money that I got as a gift, so like 11,500, let's say. Well, I decided to keep the monthly amount that I'm supposed to save as close to the original one as I can. In the previous months, I also saved more than the monthly amount here. So I decided to still keep challenging myself. So I decided to add up. Although, like I said, I might have to use this money anyway in the next few months for the down payment. So actually the goal will be gone. But for now, I'm keeping it. So from May until the end of the year, that would get me to 10,510.6 to get to this amount during the year, and it would bring me to 1,313.83 per month, so quite similar. I also decided to increase the emergency fund by 1,000 because, well, I put 200 per month in my savings, and I have many more transactions that I have here listed, so I decided to also increase that amount, and still it leaves me to pay 2,704.6 until the end of the year, and that's 338.08. So it's a bit of a bigger challenge for now. Queen, I'll be done actually by the end of May, because A, I did save up a bit more, and 2, because I don't need the full 1,000, but I just won't really change it anymore. And house expenses, well, this month I managed to pay more than this amount, and I hope to be able to do that each month, so that the first month when I only paid 1,000 will sort of even out. But again, this goal might just go away because I will have to use the money for the house expenses sometime in the near future. So my goals just sort of got completely changed, and yeah, the plans went maybe not out of the window because they got upgraded and more optimistic, and that's great, but I did need to make a few changes, and I know that I might have to change them again. I just basically cross them out and change them into something else. And one more thing that I need to do is actually cross out one of my subscriptions, and that's Craftpod. I did overdo on the amount. It said that £92 would be per subscription. I don't know how much I would have to pay for delivery, but I have to resign because you can't really order the subscription anymore from their website because of Brexit, apparently. I can buy individual boxes from their from their Etsy shop, but I'm not sure if I'll remember about doing it every quarter. That's why I'm crossing out the subscription, also because buying every quarter will be much lower amount. I won't have to like remember to keep the money in the cushion for it, because I'll be able to just cash flow it in the fun category. So that's it for the month. It was a really good month. I did go up in some of the categories, down in the bills, which is great, down at the fuel, which is also good, a little bit up on eating out, that's not a big problem because it's just 3.63, down on groceries, savings up, and that's huge, yay, beauty down, which is good, fun also down, retirement is as usual, this is always the same amount, I might think to actually make it bigger in the future, but for now it stays the same. Sinking funds up, great. Medical down, thankfully, and charity up. So I think in the most positive categories, I did go out, I did go up, and the rest I saved a bit of money, and thankfully I was able to put it into the nicer categories, the ones that I actually want to spend more money on. Okay. If you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It's always appreciated. I apologize again for my voice. I know the quality isn't very good, but I'm sick and I can't do anything about it, and I really wanted to get this out and close the month of April because it was a really good month, and some things were happening. If you want to see my progress on the budget, my maybe buying the flat and all the costs connected to it, consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!